Hi, this is Tom Salemi of DeviceTalks. Welcome to our Future of MedTech series. I'm here with Ivan Tornos, the CEO of Zimmer Biomet. Ivan, thanks for joining us. You have such a passion for MedTech, so I think it's great to talk about MedTech's future with you. What drives you about MedTech? What anyone who talks to you walks away saying, "Wow!" Where does that energy come from?
Tom, thanks for having me here. It's purpose. You and I spoke about this in the past. It's purpose. My purpose is to alleviate the pain of others, to help others, to inspire others. And I get to do that for a living. I've only been in medtech. My entire life has been a healthcare career. And the inspiration, the purpose started with my own story. My father died of cancer when I was 5 years old. My uncle became my father figure. He died shortly after when he was 45 years old. And then later in life, I lost my brother. He didn't even make it to 45. He was 44 when he passed away. So my personal story shaped my professional journey.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe we can do things to help others. And we MedTech get to do this for a living every single day. So in one word, which I cannot pronounce, is purpose.
So, what are some of the challenges that are facing MedTech today? There's many, but there's probably two or three that you're focused on constantly. What problems are you looking to solve?
Sure. So they are obviously the short-term headwinds,
Mhm.
tariffs, and that will be a 2-hour conversation, which we're not going to have today. But when you think about MedTech holistically, I think there is 5 key areas that we, as leaders, need to focus on. And I'm going to give you 5 words, and then I'm going to unpack them in less than 3 minutes. I promise you. Smaller, faster, better, cheaper, and broader. So smaller. We need to have a smaller portion of patients living in pain. And that can be cardiovascular issues, can be orthopedic pain, can be any specialty. So I'll use the data point for us in orthopedics. 600 million people on earth are living in pain associated with arthritis.
Wow.
With the lion's share of that problem being osteoarthritis. We can shrink that number. Today, only 5% of those patients are doing something about it. So again, smaller pie. Then it's faster. I generally believe that we can reduce the time of care, the entire episode of treatment. You don't need to live in pain 2-3 years. You need to go through complex pre-surgical stuff, long surgeries, lengthy lengths of stay in a hospital, long rehab. Can we make it faster? Better. Outcomes can be better. 1 of every 5 patients that goes through a knee arthroplasty is dissatisfied with her or his procedure. So that number needs to be something else other than 80%. It has to be 100%.
Mm.
So it has to be better. And again, through data, through better techniques, through redefining surgical algorithms, we can deliver better outcomes. And yes, it has to be cheaper. And we got to work on taking cost out of the system. And it's not reducing the cost of the implant. It's thinking broadly around the episode of treatment. And then broader, equity. In a non-political way, we have to have a conversation around how do we make sure that best-in-class medtech applies to everybody, not just those who are born in the right zip code. So again, smaller pie, faster episode of treatment, better outcomes, absolutely needs to be cheaper, and yes, it needs to be for everybody. So those are the 5 key areas.
That's it, huh?
That's
just
it.
those areas.
And we're going to get it.
Easy
We're going to get
peasy.
it done. We're going to
So-
get it done.
What's the solution? What are the multiple solutions? I'm assuming new technology is going to be a huge part of it. You mentioned data.
Yeah.
I know you're working in other areas as well.
Sure. I think we need to have a conversation that encompasses the entire ecosystem, as you and I spoke about, right? So not just talk to the physician, think what is the patient need, the physician, of course, and then having conversations with providers and payers, which I don't think we've done that in a meaningful way as an industry. I don't think we actively discuss the economic outcome associated with these clinical outcomes. So I think there is a broader conversation with the customer. In terms of solutions, yes, all of the above. AI, robotics, predictive analytics, rethinking new generation devices. So I think the combination of the conversation with a different set of customers, thinking beyond the implant, working as an industry, not just Zimmer Biomet, we as an industry, is going to help us solve those 5 key areas.
So looking forward, you've identified the problem, the solutions. 10 years from now, what do you think the outcome will be? What does Zimmer Biomet look like? What does orthopedics look like?
I'm gonna divide the answer on Zimmer Biomet in 2 parts. First 5 years, and then the second half, the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, we at Zimmer Biomet are going to work on solving 4 meaningful problems, which are associated with those 5 key areas that I was talking about. One is awareness. I already mentioned the amount of patients living in pain. We're going to run bold campaigns to bring patients into seeing primary care doctors, ultimately potentially orthopedic surgeons. Enters Arnold Schwarzenegger. Our chief movement officer is the Terminator. You cannot have a better person to terminate pain than the Terminator himself. So that's number one. Number two is infection, safety. People can't die in an operating room because of infection. We're going to crack the code on infection. Infection needs to be 0%. And through better techniques, faster surgeries, core devices, we're going to crack the code on that. Number three is efficiency. We believe we can deliver faster surgeries without compromising outcomes. Smart robotics, predictive analytics, smart operating rooms, better designs, better all of the above. And then outcomes. We believe that we can be the company that cracks the code on delivering 100% satisfaction rates. And again, we're going to look at the entire ecosystem of devices, algorithms of care, robotics, AI, and we're going to think beyond the operating room. Before surgery, during surgery, and after surgery. So the next 5 years about awareness, infection, efficiency, faster, and then outcomes, better. As we enter the next 5 years, I do want to put Zimmer Biomet, today's Zimmer Biomet, out of business. I envision a day in where people will laugh about, you remember the days we used to have knee implants, hip implants, metal and plastic in our bodies. We can restore anatomy versus replacing anatomy. And we're doing both things in that regard. In the next 5 years, I also envision a day where we can really personalize medicine. Through all this data we collect before surgery, during surgery, and after surgery, we can personalize future surgeries. We are the company that collects the most data in orthopedic care today. And we got to do something with that data. And then in those next 5 years, as we enter year 10, we're going to be more than a musculoskeletal care company, an orthopedic company. All these great lessons we're learning in orthopedics, we're going to transfer those to other areas. So we have a small business in cardiac surgery. We're doing craniomaxillofacial stuff. We're entering newer spaces. And 10 years from now, Zimmer Biomet will be more than just the leading orthopedic company. So that's what's happening 10 years from now.
I have to think all of that is adding to your enthusiasm and really helping you fulfill your purpose.
And along the way, we're going to take care of many, many more patients. Today, we impact someone's life every 7 seconds. One day, we're going to impact in lives at a faster rate. And yes, that keeps me energized and excited.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing your vision and for joining us today.
You do an amazing job. Thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.